Hello again everyone, welcome back. In this part, we're going to talk about CSS important rule and math functions in CSS. Let's say here we have simple div with the class name of d1 and ID of first div. So here in our style, let's select this with our tag name. So let's give this width of 200 pixels, height of 50 pixels, and background color of black. Now you'll see our div right here. But as you know, and I told you in the last part, we can use other selectors to do that. So let's use our class name, and in this one, make the background, let's say, red. Okay, now at last, we have our ID, which here, let's say we want this to be in blue background. Sorry, this is going to be first div, not ID. Yeah. Now you know this is going to be because these values is going to be override. But if we use this exclamation mark and then important keyword, you see now our div has changed to red. This is because if we use this important, this is going to be override all of the values that we have. It doesn't matter. We change the property in the ID, tag name, or class name again. Let's say we got another class name of D1 right here. And in this one, our background is green. Now you see again, because this have this important rule inside of it, this is going to be override to all of our file. So if I take this important from here and use this here in the tag name, you'll see now again this rule applies and use this one as final one. But what happens if we use this important in both of them? You'll see now if we have important here and here, this one is going to be applied. And again, if I have another one right here and right here, you'll see now the ID one have applied. This is because if we have important keyword right here, these are going to have more priority than this one. Okay, but again, each important is going to replace the important before it. And so this one is going to replace this, and this one is going to replace this. For example, if I make this comment, you'll see now this one is our thing. And if I delete this, now our first one is applied. But if I make this regular, you'll see because these two are important, the last important thing that comes is going to be override all of the other values and be the final one. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is our functions in CSS. Here we have our 200 pixels static value. You know that we can use dynamic values to make this change whenever we change the width of our browser. But another way of doing things is using math functions. We have three functions that we can use in our CSS. First one is calc, the second one is max, and then we have min. And what these are is basically when we use calc right here, and inside these parentheses, we can give anything that we want to our browser, calculates that and puts that in our web page. Let's say we want 100 pixels minus 80 pixels. And don't forget spaces right here. You'll see now we have the 20 pixel width right here. And you can do anything that you want right here. But maybe you want to give the values that they are not in the same unit. Okay, no problem. Let's say we want 100 pixels minus, let's say, 2 inches. Now you see we got nothing because 2" is more than 100 pixels. But if we make this 300 pixels, you'll see now we have this remain right here. And we can use other values. For example, let's say we want 100% minus 50 pixels right here. So this is automatically gets the 100% of our width and minuses what we have set after that, which is 50 pixels. Now you'll see this part, which is 50 pixel, is static, and this part is dynamic. And if we change the size of our browser, it's going to be changed too. Another thing that we can have here is our min and max functions. Inside min, we say, for example, 50% of our layout. And after this, we say, okay, we want 100 pixels here. So this is going to calculate which one of these two is minimum. Of course, you can have some other values, as many as you want. For example, let's say we want another one of 100% minus 1 inches. And again, this is going to see and calculate which one are these three is the minimum and going to apply that. So you'll see here, if I change the value in this part, we have the 50% one minimum. Let's clear this one so we can see them better. Now let's make this 250. Okay. Now you'll see if I go here, if I change the width, nothing is going to happen because 50% is more than 200 pixels. So 250 pixel is the minimum and going to be applied right here. But if I go to the size that 50% of my document is lower than my 250 pixels, it's going to be applied instead. Now here, because half of our window is lower than 250 pixels, this is going to be applied. Another thing that we have is max, which is the opposite of this. It's going to be which one is the biggest and going to apply that one in our document. Please give a like and subscribe to catch next videos.